Weekly mining news. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters. And since this is going to be the last week's news of the year, I thought I would do things a little bit differently. So today I'm just going to concentrate on how things have changed in 2020 for new starters to get a job and what you can do in 2021 to get yourself a start in the industry. Just to start with, I'd like to give a shout out to Brett and Angela, who both got a start in Snatch-It season. They've taken advantage of the high turnover of new starters around the Christmas and New Year period, and they've got themselves start. So well done, guys. Now, where can you go to find a job if you are a new starter? Well, this article came out from Australian Mining last week, and it goes into great detail about how they'll need lots of people over the next 5 years in the mining industry. And one of the big areas are plant operators. They're going to need almost 10,000 new plant operators. And this picture is a little bit deceiving because it's not going to be surface plant operators that they want, it's going to be underground plant operators that they want. If you remember one of the videos that I did a couple of months ago on the iron ore industry and automation, you will know that BHP, Rio and Fortescue have got a massive push on to replace all their truck drivers with driverless trucks. So the jobs that they're talking about in this article here won't be on iron ore mines, or a few of them might be, but the majority of them will be on gold mines. And if we come over to our map and have a look, you can see all the areas of the country that gold mines are located in, and these are the areas that you'll need to target as a new starter. Now, if we go over to Seek and type underground in, you'll see all the jobs come up. And this is what's shifted this year, is that for new starters, there's very limited opportunity within the coal, construction and shutdown areas because of an oversupply of people and a limited amount of work going on. Whereas in hard rock, underground and surface exploration, so if you type offsider in, you'll see all the jobs come up. There's lots and lots and lots of jobs. Now, the only problem with going into that industry, and I feel the need to warn everybody, is the fact that they have a very high turnover of new starters. All right, so again, if you come over to this in the Best Shot series, I've done a video on it about why it's easy to have a bad experience as a new starter. It's basically 3 in 5 people, if you go in using their system, 3 in 5 people fail in the first 6 months. And it's really one of those things that the more you know before you go, the better off you're going to be. Now, the other big thing that's changed in hiring for new starters is that our partnership program, at the start of the year, they would medical people in the eastern states and then basically sign them up and allow them to drive across. Now, with everybody, they are not prepared to hire anybody unless you're basically standing in front of them. Now, this goes for mining towns and the hubs too for the fly in, fly out. So if you want a fly in, fly out job in Queensland, then you're going to need to be in the Brisbane hub or the Townsville and Cairns hubs up there, because that's where they fly from. If you want to get a job in WA, they won't let you fly across the country and then hub out of Perth. You have to be in Perth if you want a fly in, fly out job. Same with Olympic Dam in Adelaide, and it's the same for a couple of big gold mines that are in the Northern Territory. They want people that are in the Northern Territory, either in Darwin or Alice Springs. And this goes the same if you're going to go to a mining town, then I suggest that you make sure that you get your mining knowledge up to speed, especially if you're going to go in for have a crack at one of these hard rock underground jobs. And the best way you can do that is have a look at the sponsor's DIY training package. It's got everything in there that a employer wants a new starter to know. It teaches them exactly how the mine works, and the whole idea behind this is that if you do this course, instead of the employer having to take 3 to 6 months to put enough knowledge into you to find your feet and get the job, if you've done this training, you should be able to find your feet in 2 to 4 weeks. And that's the big sales point for people that have done the training if you head off to Kalgoorlie or Cobar or Mount Isa or wherever you're going. I had one of the guys that's done one of the training programs go to Kalgoorlie last week for an interview, and while he was there in the afternoon, he handed his resume around to all the labour hire companies in town. He basically got offered 2 jobs on the spot, which he couldn't accept because he had other things. He was looking for a job for the new year, but one of the labour hire companies wanted to medical him that afternoon to start him as a nipper the next day. So that gives you some idea of the power of actually knowing how it all works. And if you've got questions about it, then you come over to our Onto This page, which is Entry Level Mining Jobs, the Best Shot series. This is a series of videos that goes with the DIY package and explains everything that you need to know. You can also get this on our YouTube channel, Australian Mining for New Starters, which you're watching at the moment. It's the playlist, the Best Shot series. So I find it's easier to read like this than on the website. And so it goes through all the questions that a new starter might have about getting into the industry. And it even goes into detail on how to sort your own resume out. So in number 11, it's how to do your resume. And it just answers all the questions that people have about what's going on in the industry, what you need to do, what you need to know, what you don't need to do. So with Hard Rock Underground, one of the big things is you don't need a bunch of tickets because they have to do all on-site ticketing. And again, that's all contained in these videos. I think it's in the 4th or 5th one along here. Yeah, formal qualifications and tickets in that one, and then why the Australian mines have to be filled with Australian citizens. One of the funny things about the crew jobs is because they're all classed as unskilled labour by the government, they all have to be filled with permanent residents or Australian citizens. So if you go onto the crew jobs on Seek and have a look at the top or the bottom, it'll all state that you must be able to live and work in Australia to apply for this job. And that's the reason why it's all classed, even the $350,000 jumbo jobs are all classed as unskilled labour, which everybody has a bit of a laugh about in the industry, that jobs that start on 100,000 and go well over 300,000 are all classed as unskilled labour, but that's the way it is. So I hope you've enjoyed the news over the year, and I will start again in the new year, probably the second week of the new year, with the news again. And I just want to thank everybody that's liked the channel over the year, and I just want to wish everybody a happy and safe Christmas and New Year. And it's still not too late to take advantage of Snatch It season. You can get yourself set up with a DIY training program, study over the couple of weeks that you've got off over Christmas, and launch into finding yourself a job in January. I hope if you do that, then you're successful in your efforts. I hope you found that information helpful, and if you could like and subscribe to the channel, that would be wonderful. Thanks.